Picture this. You're standing at the edge of a vast wilderness where you can carve your own path, but there's a catch. The choice isn't between what's comfortable and what's hard. The choice is whether to be the one holding the map or to let someone else decide the route for you. Let's break it down. Imagine the world of business is like a sprawling forest filled with challenges, opportunities, and dangers lurking in the shadows. You have a choice. Will you set up your own base camp, leading your journey on your terms, or will you hitch a ride with someone else who has the map, the compass, and the ability to steer you in any direction? Most new entrepreneurs choose the second option. They join forces with platforms, partners, or business models that seem like easy paths, only to find out they're giving away the most crucial thing they own: control. Why control is your ultimate weapon. Control isn't just a buzzword. It's the key to autonomy in your business. Think of control as the core foundation that keeps your venture standing tall against the storms of market shifts, new competitors, or changing trends. It's the difference between being a pioneer, forging your own path, and being a follower, constantly at the mercy of someone else's decisions. When you don't have control, you're essentially handing over the steering wheel of your business. The driving force behind your decisions, your revenue, and your future is no longer in your hands. You've delegated that responsibility to someone else, and when their choices fail or shift unexpectedly, your business could crumble. The risk of dependency, a dangerous gamble. Here's a real-world scenario. You build a successful e-commerce business on a popular platform. Let's say it's Shopify, relying heavily on their traffic, tools, and infrastructure to generate sales. Everything seems to be going smoothly. You've invested countless hours optimizing your store, creating the perfect product listings, and driving traffic. But one day, you wake up to an email saying that your account has been suspended due to a violation of their policies, a violation you didn't even know existed. Your business is suddenly at a standstill. Your entire operation, from inventory management to customer relationships, relies on Shopify's infrastructure. Without it, you're left in the dark. This is what happens when you don't own the system that runs your business. You become dependent on a single entity with the power to flip a switch and shut it all down. You're playing a dangerous game of chance. Your business isn't autonomous, it's a satellite orbiting someone else's planet. The perils of external control, the follower's trap. Another example. You rely on social media platforms like Instagram to drive engagement and sales. Your strategy revolves around building a massive following and creating viral content that brings in leads. But, out of the blue, Instagram changes its algorithm, cutting down organic reach for businesses. What happens to your business? It takes a massive hit. This is the follower's trap. When your success is tied to the whims of someone else's system. You've placed all your bets on a platform that can change the rules at any time. When that happens, you've got nothing left to lean on but the shifting sands of a platform you don't control. How to regain power. Build your own infrastructure. The real secret to success in business isn't about following the latest trends or jumping on the most popular platform. It's about creating your own ecosystem. This means building a system where you own the assets, the brand, the customer list, the distribution channels, and don't rely on third parties to be the lifeblood of your operations. Take the example of Apple. Apple didn't rise to dominance by relying on other companies to supply their customers or content. They created a self-sustaining ecosystem that encompasses hardware, software, and services. When you buy an Apple product, you don't just get a piece of tech. You get an entire experience that's controlled by Apple from start to finish. And because they've built this infrastructure, Apple isn't vulnerable to the whims of external players. Diversify your influence. Never put all your eggs in one basket. The key to building autonomy is diversification. You need to expand your influence and revenue streams, so that if one fails, others can sustain you. This could mean having multiple sales channels, engaging with various social media platforms, and not relying on a single supplier for your products. Amazon, for example, is a major player in the e-commerce world, but it's risky to build your entire business around it. If you rely solely on Amazon's marketplace, what happens if they change their policies or remove your product listing? You lose your business. But if you also sell through your own website, other marketplaces, and even physical stores, you've reduced that risk significantly. Building a resilient brand. The heart of autonomy. The heart of your business is your brand. If you build a brand that people trust and recognize, you create a loyal following that doesn't depend on a single platform or business model. Your audience isn't buying from Amazon, they're buying from you. This is where true autonomy lies. Consider the success of Nike. While they sell their products through various retailers, their brand is so strong that it doesn't matter if a specific store stops carrying their products. People will still seek out Nike because of the trust, quality, and identity the brand represents. Nike doesn't depend on any one retailer. It relies on its own identity and the loyalty of its customers. The takeaway: own your path. Own your success. To succeed in business, you need control. Control over your brand, your operations, and your customer relationships. Don't be at the mercy of platforms, middlemen, or third-party suppliers. Build your own infrastructure. Create a resilient brand and diversify your revenue streams. If you want to be a true leader in your industry, you have to take charge of your business. Like a pioneer who charts a new course, you'll face obstacles along the way. But as long as you're holding the map and controlling the direction, you'll always be ahead of the pack. Control isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a non-negotiable foundation for success.